Hey, this is Daniel from Around the Board, and we're coming at you with round 2 of March Madness of Board Game. That's right, this is the winner's bracket. Now we have only 32 of the best games in the tournament going against each other. All of these games have won a competition already, but do they have it in them to win another? Well, let's go take a look at the competitions today. All right, the first one we have is Earth vs. Everdell, and Everdell squeaked out a victory over Earth. Everdell is a beloved classic critter game where you are building a tableau with a superfluous tree in the middle of the board. What's not to love about superfluous trees, right? But that overthrew Earth, which is the new hotness tableau builder as well, engine builder. And you are just getting points left and right. Points for playing a card, points for discarding a card, points for trashing cards. You get points upon points. But apparently Everdell is what the people wanted, and Everdell took the victory 22-16. Everdell, the best it's ever done in the competition, got to the finals, where I believe it was taken out by Wingspan. So it'll be interesting to see if it has longevity in it again. So we'll have to find out. The next matchup is Heat versus Nidavellier. But speaking of Cult of the New, Heat is the hottest new game to hit the scene, and it just revs straight past Nidavellier. Nidavellier is a really unique auction game where you are bidding with these chips to win. You get to essentially which order you're going to pick from which row first, but these chips get upgraded, so every turn you're determining which chip you're going to increase, and then you get more powerful chips, and these chips are also victory points as well. Nidavellier is a very interesting game, but it could not stand a chance against Heat, which is the new hotness racing game that puts all other racing games to shame. So Heat, you are the winner of round 2. All right, now we're going to take at Dune versus Stockpile. Again, I think the prevailing wisdom was that Dune would win this one, but Stockpile in FBC Gamers is actually a really beloved game. Stockpile is a game about inside trading. You have some information about the stocks that are on the table, and you can decide if you're going to sell or trade based on the information you know, and by doing so you will convince other people to maybe buy or trade when they shouldn't have. A really clever game, and it's really beloved, but it didn't matter because the powerhouse Dune Imperium, the deck, it's a worker placement deck builder, also has some warring conflict in it. This game has it all. It was a little overwhelming for me, not overwhelming, but maybe I didn't like how the cards drove where I could play my actions. Sometimes there was a best action, but I had no cards that would let me take that action, and it always felt bad when I played it. But I am in a minority for sure, because Dune Imperium is beloved by many. It is in the top 50 of Board Game Geek, maybe even in the top 20. And right now, it's definitely in the top 32 because it is moving on to the next round. All right, then we have a Marvel, or just Dice Thrones. I use the Marvel one because that's the image I have, but it's Dice Thrones versus Galaxy Trucker. And while Galaxy Trucker was a surprise, Dice Thrones was a surprise win against King of Tokyo, it still continues to win against Galaxy Trucker. Dice Throne is one of the biggest underdog candidates of this entire tournament. It has now taken out 2 favored competitors, which was Galaxy Trucker and King of Tokyo. Very few people left in the bracket have Dice Throne going much further than what it already did. So this will be very interesting to see how Dice Throne will prevail. I mean, Dice Throne is just the simple dice chucking game where you're trying to make Yahtzee pairs essentially, but you do that and you get to power up your abilities and you attack your neighbor. While Galaxy Trucker is a tableau, or is a tile laying game where you're building up a spaceship to then go into space and get it bombarded by aliens and asteroids and anything else, and you have to survive your trek across space. But Galaxy Trucker did not survive its trek in FBC Gamers March Madness of Board Gaming. All right, that was it for that round, and then we have the results here. We have Topher is now in the lead, solely in the lead. He had a perfect bracket, and so did Tara. Tara also had a perfect bracket, which Topher's perfect bracket did knock me out from being in first, so now I'm sharing second with Tara. We have some other people here too that everybody did poorly again because of the Dice Throne and the Galaxy Trucker upset. This Dice Throne is going to make sure that nobody has a perfect bracket, because this one is going to just keep marching through and nobody has it predicted to win. So quite an upset there. We have Owen at the bottom. He's my son. He's the pace car essentially. So Laura Evans, as long as you stay above Owen, then you do, in quote unquote, know things about board games. So that's a little joke about my son. He claimed that anybody that is near him doesn't know anything about board games like himself. So that was his quote, not mine. This is all for good fun, though. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow's matchups. We have Point Salad versus Lost Ruins of Arnak. Lost Ruins is just going to take this one. There's no way Point Salad is going to stand up to the powerhouse of Lost Ruins of Arnak. Then we have Bonanza inside. This one, it will be fascinating. Bonanza is the oldest game in this entire well, no, Cosmic Encounter was older, but out of the winners bracket, Bonanza is definitely the oldest game in this entire tournament, and Scythe is a very divisive game, even though it's in the top 20 of Board Game Geek. But Bonanza has its lovers, and I think they're going to come out in waves for this tournament. So I do think Bonanza is going to actually take out Scythe. It'll be very interesting. And then we have Civilization versus the Colonists. Again, this is the bracket that doesn't matter in my opinion, because Civilization or the Colonists will not move forward. But I'm going to put my money on Civilization. I think the area control game, Civ Builders, are a lot more digestible than an 8-hour Euro that Colonist can be. And then the last matchup we have is Splendor Duel versus Sagrada. I would have given my money on Sagrada, but the way people were coming out for Splendor Duel versus Cat in the Hat or Cat in the Box, I think Splendor Duel is going to take it. I think I voted Sagrada, so I do hope Sagrada wins, but Splendor Duel will probably take it. All right, guys. Well, that was it for round 2.1 or round 2 or round 9, whatever you want to call it. I have unusual naming conventions because I don't know anything about March Madness, so it is what it is. There you go. All right, guys. Well, we will be back tomorrow with another video of round 2.2, and we'll take a look at all the winners then. But until next time, we'll see you around the board.